Welcome once again here on the Regional Radio Sports Network on RRSN.com and on a Regional Radio Sports Network YouTube channel here for Holy Cross College Soccer Media Day. We got a chance to talk to the men, and now it's time for the ladies. My name is Tanner Camp, and I'm blessed that I get to be doing most of the athletics right here at Holy Cross College, and I am so blessed because I get to know these two great people over the course of the season. I can't wait to find out how they perform this year. We got head coach Duma and Mikayla with us here for today. Of course, Duma, the second-year head coach. Weird to say second year, especially the longtime assistant, and Mikayla in her second year with the Holy Cross College women's soccer team. Well, guys, great to have you on. I was so much fun to watch you guys play last year, and I tell you what a run. I still remember being out on the field, and we could barely see. We had to almost ask the car lights to try to illuminate some light with that great penalty kicks win against St. Xavier, and then again, fell just a little short against St. Ambrose in Iowa, but they were such a tough team. That speaks to the CCAC. So, Duma, we'll start with you, and then Mikayla will follow after. Just tell us a little bit, guys, about last year and the success you experienced. Duma, obviously, especially midway through and later on in the year, you have to have been pretty pleased with how your team started, finished throughout the course of last year.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having us, Tanner. Our season last year was, I would say it was a success. You know, it's especially being first-year coach and a lot of incoming students. It was basically like a work in progress, you know. Mm-hmm. We thought it was going to be, progress that was going to take longer. But, team surprised us. Everybody bought in so quick and adjusted to how we wanted everybody to play, and, it showed on the field. So we're really excited about that. We're really pleased about the way they did.
Mm-hmm. Mikayla, what about you? What were your impressions, especially as a first-year assistant coach under Coach Duma?
I was just taking it all in, honestly. I was really excited to see and meet all the new girls, and everybody was honestly new for me, so it was cool to meet them, and they did end up really surprising us, and we were really excited that they did so well.
Mikayla, we were fortunate to get to talk to you for a lot of the pregame interviews to make sure that the T's were crossed and I's dotted instead of the I's crossed and T's dotted. But from this was also your first coaching experience, and you've seen Holy Cross. There have been years where this team has been extremely successful, and they've had their years where, especially early on, where they unfortunately were unable to field enough on the field. So talk a little bit about what you learned under Coach Duma. Again, a longtime assistant for Coach Cowell. He was always one of my favorite people to talk to. We had to bug him a couple times, but he always made sure we were good to go with our equipment side. But just talk a little bit about what you especially learned, maybe just in general about college soccer from an assistant coach's side. And you could tell Duma, he puts a lot of trust in you with a lot of the day-to-day operations.
Yeah, honestly, I was really grateful for this opportunity. Duma kind of took me under his wing, and I have learned a ton under him. They work day in and day out. It's a lot of work, but yeah, cool, calm, and collected Duma is.
There you go. And then, Coach Duma, talk a little bit about Mikayla, a young and up-and-coming coach who, when you put that type of responsibility, she's great because she's interacting with the players in many different things, whether about soccer or whether just as a good, calming presence to make sure she understands what she needs to tell them in case they may not always want to. And you're very still approachable, but having another essentially head coach is always great. Talk a little bit about what you were most pleased with what Mikayla did last year for your program.
Yeah, Coach Mikayla has really been one of the biggest blessings we've had on the team. You won't believe the amount of stuff that she does behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. And she probably knows the team more than I do. She has really just come in and just done so much work and just gelled in well with the team. And, I trust her to even do anything, and right now she's even staying in the dorms with the team. She's the one that's in charge of all that. Last weekend, she took the team to Michigan City the whole weekend. As a coach in charge, so it shows how much trust I have in her. Mm-hmm. It kind of goes way back. She used to be one of my players, by the way. I used to coach her back in the day.
Oh, there you go.
So she played for one of my youth teams at Echo, and just to see her just grow from the player to where she is now that's what coaches always want to see.
And I talk a little bit about. I would be remiss if we didn't mention the brand new field for you guys. I know that has been on the horizon, and I want to give a lot of credit to guys like Bob Pastor, like Marco Clark. They have both made it adamant. In order to be successful, you need to have good facilities. It's not always the case, but you knew it was overdue. The lights, that is a monster improvement. The scoreboard with the sound system, and even the chain fence around it. I know there's still more on the horizon, but Coach Duma, we'll start with you. Mikayla, will let you follow. Talk a little bit about what it means that you have got a campus that is willing to get behind you and understand. They know education-based athletics are a critical part of bringing in students. What does it mean that you get to now go on that field for practices and matches and every single day get to enjoy it?
This has been one of the biggest changes we've experienced. Basically, like now we can, play games late in the evenings. We can, professors, more fans can come out and watch games because now they're late in the evenings. Just having a facility like that really helps, especially with recruiting. Us bringing recruits out there to show them a facility like this is what high school players are looking for. So it's really been huge for us. Hopefully it's going to help with our recruiting moving forward and stuff. But it's been a lot of big changes, and we're excited for that.
Mikayla, what about you?
Just to bounce back on what Duma said, yeah. Also, I think it's going to bring in a bigger crowd for us because, those 2 o'clock games sometimes are really hard for people to come to. So, I mean, they still came. We still had a big crowd, so I'm hoping to see even more people. And, yeah, I think it's really exciting for the school and for the team. And the girls are excited. The guys are excited. It's going to be really fun under the lights. And,
Mikayla, we'll stick with you. Let's just talk about that. I mean, you had moments. You said because of what time you had to play the games. And there were still pretty decent crowds, and I think that's going to add to it. And I think that speaks to how much this community, I mean, when you're across the street from Notre Dame, it can never be easy. But there are times where it's a big matchup, whether it's a conference opponent, whether it's maybe like a Bethel or another crosstown team that's really close. Talk a little bit about what it means to be in a community that, it's a small school, but the community really gets behind and wants to see your team do well. So, Mikayla, we'll start with you, then Coach Duma will let you follow.
Yeah, we're really grateful, honestly. It's like a huge family. Our alumni like to come out. We try to update them as much as we can, especially our alumni weekend. That's a big fun weekend for everybody to come over. Yeah, we're really excited.
Duma, what about you? Yeah, being in a community like this where there's so many colleges around here, and we've noticed that, we have our fans. We have our fans that are always going to be there, even if there's a Notre Dame game. So it's good to see that, we have a group of fans that are always going to come to our games. And hopefully having new facilities is going to attract more fans and more people.
Now, let's go and take a look at this year's roster. So you got 20 players from what I see, and a number of youngsters who are coming in, and they saw what you guys did last year. I mean, a lot of great success. I mean, again, St. Ambrose, a team, again, they've been good the last couple of years, but that St. Xavier room was such a monster win to do it in penalty kick fashion. So, obviously, I'd also have to be remiss if we say, one of the key is, Madeline Ague. You talk about with the fact of what she's doing now. We'll get to her in a little bit, but when you see some of the players, I mean, a lot of key pieces that are coming back to try to duplicate what it was from last year. So, Coach Duma, we'll start with you. Who do you feel like needs to continue to have another good year, or who do you feel really needs to step up for the Lady Saints to have a successful season?
The good thing is, it's not just one person. We have a group of players that are upcoming that we need them to make sure continue what they've been doing. Group of sophomores, upcoming players. I think the whole class really helped us a lot last year, and just to see them this year, they've really even gone better. So it's really good to see that. Then we have our junior class, which is the biggest class. Both our captains are juniors, and that's demanding a lot from them. But the whole class actually has really stepped up. Everybody's playing. Everybody's contributing in some ways. So basically, it's really good to see that it's some teamwork, more players instead of just one player. So we're excited about that.
Mikayla, do you feel that's the same way? I mean, again, individuals had good performances. By the end of the day, it's not 2 on 11. It's 11 on 11 for sure.
Yeah, I totally agree with what Duma said. And also our incoming freshmen have been really putting in the work, and we're excited with what we're seeing. So, yeah. And
I talked a little bit about Madeline Ague, and I got to tell you what. Her approach to this program, not even just as a player, as a student. She defines student-athlete. Of course, part of the Gateway program. I know she contemplated it, but she did make the decision. And, again, you have to be happy. Hannah Lemieux, a former player, obviously did the same thing, or at least went to Notre Dame. Talk a little bit about when you see your players, because by the end of the day, you want them to stay all 4 years, but you want them to be successful. You want your players to be great wives, to be great employees, to be great mothers, whatever the case may be. Once they graduate from here, you want them to set them up to be successful. So, again, Coach Duma, we'll start with you. Talk a little bit about how important it is when you see a player like that, who I know you'd love to see between the pipes for the entire career, but you at least have to be so proud of the person that she's becoming as well as a soccer player.
Yeah, so Mary has She was even like, one of those last-minute additions to the team. And just what she contributed to the team was, that's something you can never ask for as a coach. But to see her move on to Notre Dame and be part of the Notre Dame women's soccer program is what coaches are looking for. This is what every kid dreams of, to go play sports at Notre Dame. And to see Mary going out there with her attitude, which was always great. Now see her out there, Notre Dame uniform and stuff, it's huge for our program. We're really excited for it.
And Mikayla, what about you? I mean, you got a chance to watch Judge Madeline, and again, wonderful person too, and I think that really speaks volume to the kind of player and person that she is.
Yeah, I totally agree with what Duma said. We're super happy for her. We actually just saw her the other day. She's doing well. She's having fun. And yeah, we're always going to support our players, continuing to step up their college careers and careers in general.
Yeah. So one thing too, like it's good to see the connection she has with our players. So the first day she showed up for camp, she showed up at the office just to come say hi.
Oh, that's great.
But it's good to see that relationship, that she still has a relationship with our players, and she shows how much part of the family she was. And girls are really excited to go watch her play.
And you and I talked before, and that's what you love when you get to see. She'll remember this experience just as much, the Notre Dame. So, Mikayla, we'll start with you. The Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference. You better be playing your A game every single night, or else you are, it can pay. We've seen teams where they get on a little bit of a rough stretch, but if you're playing your best soccer at the right time, look at what the men did last year. Able to sneak in, they upset Judson, and if they weren't a man down, I do still think they might have been able to get past Trinity Christian. But you take a look at the CCAC in general. Obviously, St. Ambrose was the team at the top, but Olivet Nazarene, obviously. I even look at it this way. You guys had a chance to beat a team, and it was near the end, and it was a 1-1 draw. I look at the approach of the players, and they treated it as if it was a loss. And I like that mindset because even though, again, tie, you still get a point, but that's 2 lost points. But getting back on track here, Mikayla, what do you think from the CCAC? What did you notice or what did you see? The CCAC, again, you better be ready or else it is going to punish you.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the big thing for our team was we really like to worry about ourselves and our game and how we can improve each week. And every game is, it's going to be a big game because every point matters. And I think they realized that, once we started getting to the end, it was getting really, really close. And we hope to continue to do the same thing this next year.
Duma, what about you? When you take a look, obviously St. Ambrose was the team to beat, but a lot of other really good teams that can sneak up on you, and of course the addition to Mount Mary as well in the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference. From your perspective, and whether from last year now going to this year, who do you feel like are the teams that are really going to compete in the CCAC? Obviously, for me, I'm going to throw in Holy Cross as well.
Yeah, so I think you said it best. Like every team in our conference is getting better. It's always good to see like good competition. To be honest with you, like every game for us is going to be like the playoff game. So we're going to treat everybody like it's a playoff game, and everybody's a challenge. You can never be. You have a bad game, you're going to lose that game. So every game for us is going to be like a playoff game.
I like that. You have to challenge yourself. And when we kind of stick with this theme of the schedule, you take a look at it. And you guys, I love when you guys play that Ball State exhibition. I think that is one of the best ways you can do to see that Division I talent. Obviously, you'll have your scrimmage with Ancilla coming up here, just to, if nothing else, enjoy the brand new field and the lights. And I love seeing these 6 and 7 o'clock times. It makes me see those lights are going to get put to use. But then right away, you got Marion, Northwestern Ohio, you got Bethel. You don't make it easy. You can't. You can in this. So, Duma, when you take a look at the schedule, is there any one particular match? And I know we've really preached on everyone is important for postseason play, but is there any one that you feel is one that the girls should really key in on and realize, hey, this match is going to especially be important? Or is it the same approach like with conference play? Is it the same approach that way?
Yeah, basically, so when we do these preseason games, we approach every game differently. We prepare ourselves like first game is like, let's see who we are. Let's see what the players have done over the summer and stuff. So usually every game we approach it differently. Like yesterday's game was basically like, let's see what we have done for the last 2 weeks. Let's see what players have done over the summer. Have they done this? Have they done this? Good test for us, which was good for us that we played that game. Then we go on to Ancilla now. Is going to be our first 2 weeks of preseason. What can we come out of those first 2 weeks? What can we do in those first weeks? So every game is just going to be approached differently. Then obviously we go on to Marion now. It's like, it's going to be a harder game, but we've had more time in preseason. So now Are we ready for those kind of competitions? Then when we come to teams like Bethel, Bethel is a really good test for us, really trying to see where we are. Most of the teams that we play in our conference, same level as Bethel. So when we get to Bethel, we want to be able to, will be a good test, if where we are definitely moving into the conference play.
All right, so Mikayla, I'm going to start with you as we're going to give you a wrap-up here. And it's an open-ended question, so Mikayla, we'll start with you then. So here we go. The Holy Cross College Saints women's soccer team is going to improve on their 8-4 overall record and 6-2-3 conference record because of this. What is the reason the Saints are going to improve on that this season?
Because we are who we are. We are a family. We work hard, and we're here to win.
Love it. Love it. Duma, what about you? I think Mikayla did a great job. You're right. She definitely is another great head coach for you. Why will the Saints have a successful season this year?
I think we learned a lot from last year. So we're definitely just building off from what we had last year and growing into this season and just the additional of the new players we have.
Well, Duma, Mikayla, I cannot tell you, if nothing else, I respect both of you from the soccer side, but from the people's side, I was fortunate to have a lot of great coaches. These players are extremely blessed to have you. So if nothing else, best of luck this season, both on the field and off the field. It is always a blessing to get to talk to both of you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tana.
And be sure to check out this team. Again, you got to check out the new field, so be sure to come right over to Saints Field, just close to McKenna Arena on the campus of Holy Cross College in Notre Dame, Indiana, or you can also check it out on rrsn.com. So once again, for Coach Duma and for Coach Mikayla, my name is Tanner Camp, here for Holy Cross College Women's Soccer Media Day right here on the Regional Radio Sports Network.